Ah shit, here we go again. Welcome back to Grand Theft Audio Brackets, my show where I take every single radio station across the entire Grand Theft Auto series of games, take every single song on that station, pit them against each other, have you, the voters, vote on which one is the best, and determine which one of them will represent their particular radio station in my ultimate grand bracket of Grand Theft Auto songs, which I plan to complete sometime before I die. We're on to round 2. Last week we did Vice City for Lovers, VCFL, from the game Grand Theft Auto Vice City Stories for the PSP. The winner of that bracket was Marvin Gaye with his song Sexual Healing. I put it to the voters to determine which one they wanted to pick next, which radio station that is, and was given the result of ambient music, specifically the radio station The Journey from GTA 4. So against my better judgment, I'm going to go ahead and do that one this time. The Journey is interesting because it features a lot of early electronic music as compared to its successor station, Self-Actualization FM, which features on the DLC for Grand Theft Auto 4. The station's DJ is a speech-to-text program.
Synthesized ideas discussed by synthesized voices. Is anything real anymore? This world is just a simulation of an idea someone else had. It wasn't a good idea.
I'm not the biggest fan of electronic music, but I did vow to go through each and every one of the currently 105 radio stations in Grand Theft Auto, so I'm going to go ahead with it. Who knows, I might just learn something new along the way. I ranked all of these in terms of which one is seated first based upon some combination of how well known the artist is, how well known the song is, chart performance if applicable, and if I had anything interesting to say about any of these artists. And there may be some of you out there that go, well, hold on a second, this one's actually really important because this artist had an EP, there was only 250 copies, it became a staple of such and such underground genre, and the resonances can be felt in modern music production today, and in which case I say, great. Go ahead and leave a comment and educate us, because I'm on this journey, no pun intended, as much to enjoy music that I know and love as to learn about music. And I hope that I can do the same for each and every one of you. I've learned of a lot of great music through my years of playing these games ever since I was a kid. So I hope to continue that, probably until I die. And once GTA 6 comes out, this is I'm going to have even more of my work cut out for me. So anyway, I'm going to get right into it. We have our first seed that I've picked is Philip Glass with Pruitt Ego. Now, Philip Glass is probably the best known person on this list outside of, say, Aphex Twin, if not for his multiple works in composing and providing the soundtracks for a number of different movies, including Candyman and The Truman Show, Kundun. If nothing else, he's also featured in an episode of South Park, the Mr. Hanky episode.
South Park Elementary presents the happy, non-offensive, non-denominational Christmas play with music and lyrics by New York minimalist composer Philip Glass. As I turn and look into the sun, the rays burn my eyes.
Happy, happy, happy. Everybody
How like
happy.
a turtle the sun looks.
He is, as they state in the clip, a minimalist composer, performer, and this track in particular featured as part of the groundbreaking 1982 movie Koyaanisqatsi, which features a number of scenes set to music and no spoken dialogue, instead conveying its message through images put to music, sort of a very early video essay almost. This music was also featured in the trailer for Grand Theft Auto 4. Next seeded song is Aphex Twin, number 17, or Z-Twig. There appear to be two different titles, so I'll just say Z-Twig for the sake of simplicity here. The Aphex Twin, aka Richard David James, is best known from Your Nightmares. This is actually one of 3 songs that he has throughout all the GTA games. There's another one on Self-Actualization FM, and Blonded Los Santos from GTA 5 is perhaps his most famous track, Window Licker. Number 3 seed is Remote Viewing by Tangerine Dream. They're also a pretty famous name, arguably the electronic band in many ways, certainly on this bracket in particular, on this particular station. They've been making music since 1967, and among other things have featured on the soundtracks for both Risky Business and Stranger Things. They also composed a great deal of the score for GTA 5, along with The Alchemist and No No. Number 4 seed, A Rainbow in Curved Air by Terry Riley. Terry Riley, 89 years old, still touring to this day. He's one half of the namesake for the Who song Baba O'Reilly, and is credited as influencing the keyboard part in All Tomorrow's Parties by the Velvet Underground. From the album of the same name in 1969, this is the oldest track on the station, and one of the oldest across all of GTA. We'll see if that changes with the release of GTA 6. Seed number 5, Oxygène, Part 4 by Jean-Michel Jarre. Pardon my French, it's atrocious. A legendary ambient performer from France, he's sold over 80 million records worldwide, and the first Western artist to play in the People's Republic of China. This track is off his 1976 album of the same name, and is considered to be a pioneering early electronic album and an influence on later artists such as Moby. Seed number 6, Communique, Approach Spiral, by Michael Shreve, featuring Kevin Shreve and Klaus Schulze. Michael Shreve is from San Francisco. Represent. He's best known as the drummer for Santana between 1969 and 1974. Klaus Schulze, meanwhile, is also a former drummer, but for Tangerine Dream. I get the sense that early electronic music, the scene was a pretty small world. Seed number 7, 523, Maiden Voyage by Global Communication. Global Communication are a British electronic act active since 1992, who I'm sure I'd consider a much bigger deal if I was into electronic music. As it stands, I'm more into Star Wars, and so the most interesting things I can say about them is that they've performed in the past under the name Jedi Knights. See number 8, Arrival by Steve Roach. Another longtime electronic artist who I have zero knowledge of. The one interesting thing I can say about him is that apparently he worked at the real Licorice Pizza in LA around the same time that Matt Groening did, which I also didn't know. Wiki does not tell me whether or not he had a relationship with a much older woman at the time. Finally, the bottom seed is The O of Pleasure by Ray Lynch. Follower of the spiritual leader Adi Da, Lynch once stated that while he didn't mind being classified as a New Age artist, he didn't like, quote, being grouped with music that I felt is, in general, pretty mediocre and boring. Now, I could say something really mean here, but as the commissioner of the contest, I am duty and honor bound to remain impartial in every single contest that we do. And honestly, it's been kind of fun along the way. I've learned a lot of things. For one thing, that Philip Glass is apparently a native of Baltimore. Represent. Now, we almost got away with not having any buys for this round until I realized that there are 9 tracks here and not 8. Therefore, this first round will simply be a matchup between the 2 tracks that I have somewhat arbitrarily seeded to the lowest, Arrival and The O of Pleasure. Now, we'll see if Ray Lynch can live up to the teachings of Adi Da, whatever those may be, or if it's Steve Roach who will serve up a slice of white-hot victory with extra synth. Now, I'll be traveling at the end of next week, but I plan to at least put up the next bracket around next Thursday or so that you have more than 2 songs to tide you over until I return. Until next time, enjoy the journey, man.